Welcome back to the portfolio update videos. Currently, the stock portfolios sit at a combined value of over 50,400 AUD. This is made up of the 20,674 USD in my state portfolio and the 19,000 AUD in my Australian portfolio on Vanguard. Today I wanted to go through a little bit of my overall portfolio, the recent rise up in the market. I also wanted to go through one of my most recent investments and a bit more information on McDonald's stock. And I also wanted to recently speak about my opening my positions in trading and just my overall process of going through with that and learning some more on this. First of all, I'll go through my stake portfolio. Not much has changed in terms of any transactions. Nothing's happened so far in December. My most recent one was a small dividend from Costco. But yeah, I haven't added anything. But as you can see, if most of you are invested, the stock market has actually been trading up. So you look over the last month, the S&P is up over 5.2%. Again, this is by far my biggest position. So now I'm up over 8% on this after being even down recently. And yeah, it's been really good for my portfolio in terms of bouncing back, because if you take a bit more long-term look, year's been really good, but I was investing in times like this and even other high points. So if I invested at the start of the year compared to starting 3 years ago, I'd actually be up more. But yeah, it's been a good ride. And the recent upturn has been, like, I went onto my stock portfolio and I went onto Costco and I didn't even realize it was over $610 a share. In other videos I've been speaking about, if it dropped under $5.50, I'd probably look to buy. And again, yeah, it's up over 9% in the last 3 months, and this is a staple of my portfolio. I always go through it. I'm now up over 23%, and my average share price is around $494. So yeah, I don't think I'll be buying into Costco anytime soon unless it comes down a little bit, but really wish I grew my position. Whenever I do these videos, the few positions that I always speak about, I wish I put more into. Lately it has been McDonald's and Costco, but McDonald's is another stock I'm going to go through today. Just the article on CNBC about them, and yeah, it's been a successful investment for me. I was lucky enough to be buying in here. I kind of looked at the dip and I thought McDonald's is a quality company, and in my short time of owning it, my average share price is $256, and yeah, it shot up 6% in the last month, and I've been lucky enough to capitalize on it, up 11.5%. So yeah, been making the most of that. And it's a position, I wish I put extra bit of money in, and I got to $1,000 in equity. All my staples are still the same. The likes of Apple. Apple's been trading up as well. It's getting closer to $200 a share, up 7% in the last month. I just did a short on that. And yeah, even another big staple of mine, Microsoft, has been trading up as well, up 3% in the last month and 10% in the last 3. So it's been good times for me, especially after the downturn. It's been a strong way to end the year, and it's now taken this portfolio to over 31,000. So my goal is to get it to 30,000 before the end of the year. So getting it to well over that now is nice, and it means I can put a bit more money into my Vanguard portfolio. So going through here, you can see I've got a little bit of cash sitting there, but none of my positions have actually changed. I didn't invest any money the last fortnight. I will be investing money the next 2. I just had to set a bit of money aside for savings because just December life expenses, paying for things. So I wanted to keep everything balanced. So didn't allocate any money into my investment accounts for the last fortnight, but I will still, because my goal is to get this to 20,000 before the end of the year. So still another 2 more paychecks coming. So I'll get this to 20,000, and then yeah, that should be it. I'll also get my first dividend for the year in January. So that's exciting, but I'll probably be putting the money into VGS. It has shot up recently. Like, I remember when it was 103 a share. This is the Vanguard International Shares ETF. Yeah, strong return the last year. In terms of my Vanguard account as well, I do enjoy investing into VGS because it gives me that international exposure into like the positions that I hold in my stake portfolio, where with VLC and VHY, it's more the Australian companies, and whilst they pay a high dividend, their returns aren't as good. Like you can see, the 1-year returns aren't really much at all. So it gives me a bit of a balance. VLC and VHY are a little bit more my stable ones, where I just get the constant dividends, where hopefully VGS can help boost up my returns a little bit more. Sitting at 19,000, it's been a great year. I mean, I'll go through the Excel spreadsheet soon about how everything's been going. We'll go through that now. Here, I use these to kind of track and just show a bit more of a visual representation of how the stock portfolios are going. You can see VOO takes up 50% of my American portfolio. That is the goal for it. And then my Australian portfolio is split up between the 3 investments, with VLC, the Australian Large Company Index, taking up the majority. Last month was a really good month. Taking a quick look at the graphs, you can see really strong, steady upturn. The only time there was a bit of a down was when I took money out. And then you look at my Vanguard, it's just been a straight, pretty much line up. And yeah, last month was strong. I gained 1,000, basically 700 in my stake portfolio, and then 2,000 in my Vanguard portfolio. So really strong month in terms of growing it after some slower months recently. I think I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, keep growing these ones. Hopefully my dividend payments get bigger, and same with my returns. Speaking of dividends, I do track them. I'll make this a bit prettier, but this is a quick snapshot of some of my dividend payments. Again, this month I won't get any from Vanguard. Maybe I'll get some from stake, but next month I'll be probably getting my biggest dividend ever, which will be nice, and I'll do a video on that. And then hopefully next year, I kind of worked it out, I can hopefully get over, let's say, $1,300 in just dividend payments alone, which will be really good. Basically like a month's worth of contributions or a few weeks worth of contributions, and I'm just going to reinvest them all, because you can see how stuff's steadily grown up and up in terms of my values and my dividends. Yeah, my overall return is nearly 18% now, which is 3,132 USD, which is really nice to look at. I mean, I've been investing for 3 years, so when you put it over 3 years, that's really only, let's say, 6% a year, which isn't that good, but I've made a lot of mistakes, I've learned a lot, and I'd rather do that now whilst my portfolio is smaller than make these mistakes when I've got a bit more money in there. So I'm just kind of using this as a learning time. And speaking on that, I did want to go through McDonald's. Like I touched on earlier, this is a stock that I invested in recently, and it's done really well in terms of returns, but it's had a bit of an up and down year. And CNBC recently put out this article, and I figured I'd give it a read on here, because it is a stock that I am interested in. It's about, here are the 3 top risks facing McDonald's heading into 2024. So McDonald's investors say focus on the company's long-term future, but the near term could bring more turbulence. Low-income consumers are spending less, hurting companies such as McDonald's and Walmart, and McDonald's revealed aggressive expansion plans, which historically haven't worked out well for the company. So it's just going to be a bit of an overview. McDonald's executives painted a rosy portrait of the fast food giant's strength and ability to achieve long-term goals at its investor day, but the company faces potential bumps in the road heading into 2024. The event held on Wednesday featured few surprises and some new long-term targets. The Wall Street reaction has been muted. Shares of McDonald's have been roughly flat since Investor Day presentation, hit by concerns about the broader economy and fears over weight loss drugs. McDonald's, I believe that's around that Ozempic, that's really big in America. And McDonald's stock has risen 8.7% this year, trailing the S&P. So, yeah, for someone like me, I mean, I'm up 11.5% because of when I invested, but if someone's been holding it for the year, it's probably been a disappointing year, as they've seen everything's ripped except your position. So my position is a lot different to others because it's been a bit more short-term, not long-term like many of my other positions. But if I was a long-term McDonald's investor, I think you invest in it for being a blue chip, kind of going the long way. Here, McDonald's plans to open 9,000 new restaurants by 2027. I mean, wherever I go in the world, whether it's other countries, Australia, there's a McDonald's everywhere and it's always full. The company's looking high demands. Yeah, everywhere you go, the McDonald's is full of people. It looks like it's constantly busy. It just, whenever you need something, there's always a McDonald's nearby. It's like a staple in a community almost. And that's one of the reasons I invested into it. They're saying here the weak and low-income consumer, but I think this is going to affect pretty much everyone, all the businesses. It's not just limited to McDonald's. And when you think of it, a low-income consumer, if they're going to go out and get food, they're more than likely going to go to a McDonald's compared to like a steakhouse or something like that. So I do understand where they're coming from, where they're saying the CEO said was predicting a mild to moderate recession. But I think that's going to be globally in terms of all businesses. It's not going to be unique to McDonald's, so I don't know if it's really something you can avoid. The second one is rivals promotional spending. Ever since the pandemic, McDonald's has shifted away from using limited time menus to drawing customers. Instead, marketing has centered on the brand itself. In Australia, we do this 30 for 30 deal on November, and my goodness, every McDonald's was packed. Can't speak on it for other countries, but I have noticed McDonald's prices have gone up a lot in terms of for certain things, and it's like you do kind of weigh it up and you're like, oh my goodness, like $10 or $11 for this burger, where I could probably spend kind of similar, a little bit more somewhere else and maybe get a better quality product. So McDonald's is getting more expensive, but I think they're kind of just adjusting to the overall economy in terms of what other people are charging as well. And third is the acceleration expansion plans. This is what I was talking about, where it feels like there is a McDonald's in every single neighborhood. So the company aims to have a global footprint of at least 50,000 McDonald's locations. And if you've seen the original McDonald's movie, where they kind of go through, and it's not just a burger company, it's a real estate company. But as they continue to grow it, I think, as myself as a McDonald's investor, I'd probably look a bit more long term. But I'm probably not investing now as the stock's recently shot up, but I think it's still a great company and a blue chip stock if you want to invest for the long run. I don't see it going anywhere. Even if it does face short-term turmoils, I think every company has to face these. It's not unique to McDonald's. It's every retail company, every food company. They're all going to face the same problems. But if you were to pick a winner, I'd say McDonald's is so stable, such a staple, that I'd rather have my money in McDonald's than in others. So yeah, that's just my short outlook. And I understand my time as an investor has been a lot shorter than other people, so I haven't really been able to see everything, but I still think it's a quality company where I would have my money personally. The next thing I wanted to go through was actually something I just opened and been doing for fun, and it is actually learning around the trading side of things. I'm never going to do this hopefully for like big money or anything, but I figured I'd put a little bit of extra money I had like $160 I chucked in here, and I figured I'd just mess around with it and just see what I could do. And this is just one of the sites used here in Australia, and this is the quick. I shorted a few things and got some money, and then I put some other bets on stuff, but it's really just been kind of messing around. You also get like free $10 worth of Bitcoin, and I've never invested into crypto, and I'm just kind of letting it sit there. I'll probably sell out of these eventually, but it's done really, really well, up 16%. I know it's only $1 because it was only $10, but yeah, it's been fun, kind of. I do want to learn this stuff. I do study finance, so learning how derivatives and stuff like that work, and shorting and going long and buying options and things like that is interesting. So maybe in the future I'll do a video going through kind of my trading stuff, and maybe I'll do a stream or something, who knows. But I did kind of want to get this portfolio, just do some trades on it, be fun on it, maybe even get it to like $1,000 and just kind of muck around. But yeah, I did want to kind of bring it up as it's something new that I haven't done in terms of my finances before. It does almost feel like gambling. It's very different when you compare it to like my Vanguard portfolio or my stake portfolio, which is a lot more long-term outlook. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of trade on this, and maybe if I have some good times or some bad times, I'll document it and kind of do updates every month or something. Overall, that was just a quick update as my stock portfolio is getting closer to the end of the year. Before the end of the year, I'll do a bit of a wrap up of my performance, things I learned, things I kind of took from it, and then my goals also going into 2024 with the portfolios and my finances. But yeah, that was just a bit of a wrap up and covering one of my stock portfolios, kind of going through McDonald's, what my thoughts were on it, and that was all for now. Cheers.